Chapter 13, Visualize Media. We're going to take a look at doing fly-throughs and creating live cubes. So we're going to start off by going into the Bighorn project, opening that up in the Conceptualize portion, and then we're going to go to the backstage and change that to the Visualize. It's going to tell us that it takes a lot to do this, but it's going to load it up. And we're going to zoom in down around where the roundabout is. That's down there. Just to get kind of close to it, you're going to have to zoom in where you want to start your fly through. So we may not want to start our fly through right here, but we're going to get where you want to go to start your fly through. The first thing I like to do when I'm creating a fly through is over on the settings, over on the menus on the left hand side, is I like to go in and just check the settings, and then after I've checked all the settings, I like to go into the display quality, and if it's set on auto right now, we don't want that to be set on auto, because if it's on auto, it's automatically going to adjust those stars and that resolution as it can. What I like to do in creating movie fly-throughs is adjust this resolution all the way down to nothing. What that does is allow me to move around in the file real easy, real quickly. It doesn't look great to start, but once you create the movie, then you can adjust it up to 5 stars and create your movie. So that's what we're going to do with this one. What you want to do is you want to be able to zoom in to wherever it is that you want to start your movie. So that's what I would do first thing, is zoom in however you want to start your location. So we're going to start it at somewhere like right here where I can see the roundabout. Then we're going to go down to the bottom and add a movie clip. And what that movie clip does is it sets the start of my fly through. And then what I'll do is I'll just zoom around using the same zoom tools, mousing around, using the arrow tools, whatever I need to do to get to my next scene. And so as I go down to my next scene, I go down to the bottom in the movie playlist down there, and I hit the little camera button, and it'll add the next scene. And what the program does is it kind of transitions between scenes. So if I just go to the location where I want to add the next screenshot, I go ahead and add the photo of it, and then I just keep doing that until I'm all the way down to where I want to stop. So I'm going to go under the bridge here, rotate a little bit, add a shot. Then I'm going to go down the road a little further. I can still see those cars moving. I'm going to add a shot. Then I'm going to move in kind of somewhere, maybe down around the intersection down here. And I'm going to add another shot. Then maybe I want to zoom in a little closer and maybe even rotate just a little bit around. Maybe even go up some. And take another shot so I can see all those cars that are piled up there. And then I can slide over to the intersection and take another shot. And then I can go out and create this. But now before I create it, I may want to come in here in each one of these scenes and adjust them a little bit. So right now it gives them a default time in between each scene. So what I can do is go out here and adjust these keyframes to be some shorter distance, shorter time. So maybe I got 5 seconds or 8 seconds or 10 seconds in between each one of these frames. So I'm going in here and adjusting all of these. It'll make for a little bit shorter of a video clip. The shorter your video clip, the less time it's going to take for it to create this. In superfine mode, a lot of times these could take overnight to create just a 2-minute video, just to show you how this thing renders. Okay, then you can take a look at it after you get it all done. Hit the play button over on the left, and you can do your little fly through. Right now it's in, again, that horrible resolution mode, which is fine for this. It's just telling me that I don't have any jumps up or jumps down, or I don't go underneath the surface, or something like that, which can easily happen with this tool. But it shows me that I'm kind of driving down the road. I'm getting a good view of what it is that I'm going to get as a final product. Okay, there's some things that don't um, look the best, especially in this mode, like the ground and stuff doesn't always heal correctly when you're in this low of a resolution. But once you create it with the 5 stars, you're going to get a really good looking model. So I think this is looking pretty good through here. It's kind of what I was hoping to get. And so I can now go in and make my adjustment. So I can go back in. I can see I've got 3 stars sitting right there right now. So I'm going to go back to the settings here, and on my display quality, I'm going to go ahead and bump that resolution all the way back up. Okay, so my quality is good. And then right here, I'm going to go ahead and bump that all the way back up. And you can see how good it looks now. Looks a lot better than it did before. So now I can come back down and I can go ahead and go back and watch it again. Let's take a look at it. And if I hit play now, you can see that with the good resolution, it looks a lot better. And I won't go through the whole entire scene here, but you can see that it looks a lot better as we're driving down through the roadway. Now, when you actually create your video, you can kind of see the centerline stripes and stuff are kind of blurring every once in a while, but that gets handled in the rendering. It renders each frame when you create the file. So that will be taken care of in that. But it's looking pretty good as I drive down the roadway. The trees, they're looking a lot better. The vehicles are looking good. I'm gonna stop it there. Everything looks pretty good to me on that. So what I'll do is I'll come over here to the right hand side and I will get that down arrow and I'll do an export that clip. And the export, you have all kinds of things here that you can turn on and off and make it as good a quality as you want. Right now it's setting at standard quality 30 frames per second, a particular size. I'm going to dumb this way down so that it will make the video fairly quickly. So I'm making it really small size, fast, 25 frames per second. Okay, so what that does is it goes in and renders every frame for this video. So as you can see, if you made it super fine and you made it say 5 minutes long, this could take 14 to 16 hours. But I made it really fast, 25 frames per second, a really small video that's probably only about 15-20 seconds long, maybe 30 seconds long. And I've cut a lot of this out. As you can tell, those numbers are jumping up a lot there. This probably takes about 10 minutes to do this portion of it. But it is creating this video, and it's making what they call an AVI file, which can play in Windows Media Player. So we get to the end of it. It says it was successful in creating it. Say OK to that, and then we can come out there and take a look at it. So let's minimize ConceptStation. It made the AVI, and this is what it looks like in fast mode. If you did superfine mode, it would look fantastic. Fast mode may get your point across, and it doesn't have to take all night to create. So it's really all in what you need. But even in fast mode, it doesn't look too bad. If I go down through here and take a look at it, looks pretty good. So, and it'll just loop around and keep going. But that is creating a movie, a fast movie out of there. Okay, the next thing that we're going to take a look at then is creating what's called a live cube. A live cube is almost like a standalone version of this visualize side of things. You can't add objects after the fact, but what it does is it takes whatever it has in visualization right now and creates an exe file that anybody can run. They don't have to have ConceptStation or anything like that. All they have to have is that file and the terrain file that goes along with it, and they can move around in it just like they can in this file. They can do kind of a fly through and all that sort of thing with it. Um, so down in here is all the settings for creating the live cube. You can go down here and give it a name, tell it what it is. And you can even kind of set a logo in there. If you've got a MoDOT logo you want to set on it, you can do that and have that appear somewhere in there. You can also tell it like the quality of how it's going to be when it comes in. If somebody opens the live cube, what's going to happen with it when it opens? Is the animation going to start automatically? So if we had an animation fly through, do these cars automatically go? Does it go through the fly through? What does it do? So you can control all of that about the live cube. You can also change it after the fact. So if you go to publish, then you're going to go out and publish this live cube out. It's going to tell you where it's going to go. You have to have the terrain model. You know where it's at, and they have to be in the same spot so they can find each other. So it goes out and creates this live cube, and it takes a few minutes to create the live cube for sure. Okay, but it's created it, so we're going to minimize that, and it created this bighorn live cube. So I'm just going to copy it out on the desktop so we can find it, and then I'm going to go grab the terrain model that goes along with that. Okay, so bighorn's in this folder, so there's the folder for bighorn, and then there's the terrain file. I'm going to go ahead and copy that out to the desktop as well. So both of those things need to be in the same spot so they can find one another. And then we're just going to go into that live cube, and it's basically we created an animation in there, or a clip, and it's going to run that clip automatically, but you can stop it. All you got to do is left click inside that live cube, and then you have full control. You can go anywhere in this map that you want to. So you can go back to that roundabout, zoom around, take a look at it, anything that you want to do inside the live cube. And this is shareable with anybody that has a computer. They probably need a decent video card, a decent machine to run it, but you don't have to have ConceptStation.